Go live. Morning, guys. How's it going? Is everything okay? Morning, Mark Williams. Thank you for giving me the first hands up. Is everybody okay? Can everybody hear me? Are we alive and kicking on this wonderful Thursday morning? Let me know if you can hear me. Let me know if everything's okay with the stream, if you don't mind. Let's see who's in this morning. Danny, yes, good morning. Good morning, Trader Zed. Nils, good stuff. Are we good? I think we are. We've got no warning signs or anything. Hello, Governor Billy. Dave, morning. Axe Trader, morning. I think I'm losing the plot, by the way. Good morning, guys. Liam, Lars, Victor, good morning. I generally do think I'm losing the plot, right? Yesterday, I made a massive mistake. Didn't lose any money, but I should have been in that market yesterday. So this is what I'm going to talk about this morning. Having a bias on a day. For not maybe for a reason, but when things set up and you've sort of constructed your mind to have a bias. Like, yesterday, I come on here yesterday, right? And I'm like saying, I'm not going to trade today. Because of the day-to-days, I'm going to try and keep my powder clean, stuff like that. You know, and I'm saying that, trying to like reinforce my own bias in my head that, you know, I'm potentially not going to get a trade. Now, a trade set up for me yesterday on the DAX, and I'm going to be completely honest with you. The point that the trade set up for me, I should have hit the market. I should have, and I don't know what was wrong with me. Now, I don't know if I'm going to be completely honest and lay it on the line. I don't know if I'm slightly scared about taking this account down, you know, because I'm doing it live. Never felt like that before for a long, long time. But I'm sat there yesterday and I can see this trade setting up and I didn't pull the trigger, and I'm very, very, very disappointed in myself. It wouldn't have made a massive gain on the account, but I know at the exact point that I should have been long. I know the exact point. There's another guy that I sort of trade with quite closely, or I've been trading with over the last 8-9 months quite closely, and he got the trade. Like, he got it, and I didn't, and I was slightly scared. Like, I think I was fearful. I've not felt like that for ages, and I think it's because obviously I'm trying to prove that I can trade. But then I went with my gut feel yesterday, and my gut feel never makes me any money. Never. I never make any money with my gut feel. Like I've said to you, the trades where I feel like it's not going to go my way are the trades that normally run for me, and it was the exact same thing yesterday. So I'm going to be completely honest with you. And let's just run back through it so you can sort of see what I was thinking. Let me just go across and sort of show you on the chart. So you might be looking at it and thinking you can sort of lean on it yourselves, right? So that's the potential R boxes of the trade. So let me just get rid of them. It didn't finish up like that because with close, I think it worked out about 1.5 R, something like that. So this is how trading gets you, right? This is the biases that your sort of own head makes when, and it comes from fear. It comes from fear. Like, I'm thinking yesterday, I don't want to do my arse. I don't want to lose another, 1% of my account, or, like 2% of this account. When at the end of the day, the market doesn't care about what you think. It doesn't, and I know this. I've been through this so many times, and I know it. The market does not care about how you feel or think. It just does what it does, and that's it. And you either win or you lose. So yesterday I said to everybody, if you bobbed out the bottom of this box here, it would be very likely that you'd get a measured move the same size of this out the other side, right? And as you can see, let me just zoom into that for you there. We got the exact reversal off the measured move there, right? So that's another guru call there. I could potentially be getting £60 a month for that, obviously. Made no money off it, but called it right, okay? And if you remember, I said that this was probably going to be the low, and we were going to go back inside the initial balance, right? So my two calls there yesterday, potentially, if I was a guru, I'd be driving a Lambo now, wouldn't I? Hundreds of subscribers, 60 quid, called the low, called the high to the exact tick, right? Brilliant. Self-fillet showtime. Did I earn any money from each of them? No, I didn't. But yesterday, when this thing had another pop up here, and especially on this return here, in this area, I have to be long. I have to be. It doesn't matter what's going on. I should have no bias. I have to be long. My system says get long. You've got to stay long for the rest of the day when this happens. I didn't. And, you know, at one point yesterday, I'm sat there, right, and I'm literally ready to throw up. I really am. That's how it got me, because at one point, when we pushed up to these highs here at 7:15, I was nearly 4R or 4.2, 4.3R up on the trade. Now at that point, my stop's in at break even, so I definitely wouldn't have lost any money. I would have scaled out at 3.5 to 4R of, like, 25-30% of the trade, and yesterday when it closed, I think it closed here, 9 o'clock, right? So I worked it out, I would have been like 1.5R up. With the scale that I would have taken, I would have been about 2.1R up, I think, around 2R up at the end of the day. My account would have been up, possibly just a touch over 120. And my account, my live account, would have been up, a decent sum of money. Like I would have had a decent week. Like that bit extra of what I've lost already would have been a decent week for me money wise. And instead, I'm holding nothing because I was fearful. And I do genuinely think it's because obviously the a little bit of added pressure, not of coming on here and accepting that I've lost or anything like that, but just obviously you're trying to prove, aren't you, that you can trade. And obviously my gut feel yesterday, I come on here with a bias, and I've listened to yesterday's stream back, and I'm there saying like, oh, I'm going to keep my powder dry and things like that. And already in that morning, I'm sort of enforcing in my head that I aren't going to be involved in the market. But this setup was at a 100%, it wasn't a punt. The setup was there. Everything was telling me to get long, and I didn't pull the trigger. So I've got nobody to blame but myself. It's totally stupid, and I'm just disappointed in myself, to be honest with you, more than anything. But that was a setup there, as you can see. In this spot here, I've got to be long, and I wasn't. So, take that from what you will. That's poor execution from me, poor trading from me, and it means that I haven't made any money. But it also means that the probability of my next trade, the one that I will take next, of being a loser, is increased, because, like I've told you, that's how it works with me. So I've had a winner yesterday. I'm way more likely to have a loser today. Now that's my own bias again creeping in, but that's just looking at like the win rate and the probability of wins and losses over my sort of trading sequences, and that's what happens. So now I've not taken the winner, and now you can bet your bottom dollar that I'll take the loser. So this is how it gets you. But last night I was literally ready to throw up. I really was. I felt sick. I felt more sick last night than when I lost 2 days ago. Like I did. I genuinely felt like I was going to throw up. I felt awful. I couldn't concentrate. When that thing's like 4.4R up, and I know that my entry was there, and I'm looking back at my entry and thinking, what a mug. Why did you not take that? And like I said, got to be honest, I think I was fearful. I was trying to not lose, especially after coming on here in the morning and saying like, I'm not going to trade, I'm going to keep my powder dry. I don't know if that had anything to do with it. And then I'm thinking to myself, well, if I go on there now and I've done my arse trading before 9, maybe I'm going to look like a mug, and all these things are going around in my head. So for me now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to have no bias at all, none. So I'm not going to come in and say I'm thinking this might happen, that might happen. I'm going to keep my powder dry. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. I'm just going to have no bias. And if the setup's there, I've got to take it, because these biases, they start to creep into your trading. And for me, they've never meant that it would improve my trading ever. So I'm aware that they're there, and I've got to do something about it. So just trying to be completely honest. That's about it, really, with everybody. That's what happened. So good morning. Let's get into the comment section. I don't know what to do today. I'm thinking maybe I should just take the day off and come back on Monday with a fresh head, rather than get into it, because I feel like I'm not myself. I spoke to Tom last night, and he said just take till Monday off and come back, because obviously it's my anniversary tomorrow anyway, so I'm not going to be doing the live or anything. I'm not going to be doing any live trading either. So I don't know whether just take it off and just not bother, because my actual real account is up. It is up from the start of the month. Now, I don't know whether I should just, is it possible that we could have a winning day again today? Yeah, it is. It is, definitely. And that would be the worst thing ever if we had another winner today, and then another winner Friday, and then I know on Monday, when I wake up on Monday, them losers are going to start coming along, because that's just the sequence how it happens. So let me know what you guys think I should do. Do I take it off? Do I just forget it and come back Monday? What would you do? What would you guys do in my situation? You don't seem yourself, buddy. Seem tired like yesterday. Yeah, it's a stress change. It is. It really is, buddy. It's tough. I've had a tough week this week. Same as I was explaining to somebody yesterday. The volatility of the markets on Monday and Tuesday has seen me buying the highs rather than the pullbacks, because that's just not for any reason. That's just how my strategy presented itself with the first entry. And obviously, I think with Wednesday holding the position, because you guys are only seeing like my this 3K account. You're not seeing my live account, but the profit swings on my live account, obviously they're not massive numbers. I'm not going to say I'm trading like £1 million or anything. I'm not. But the profit swings on Tuesday through them all day, watching that all day. Like, I'm not going to lie to you, it did fry me a bit. It really did, emotionally stressed out a little bit. And I didn't lose loads of money, because obviously I always keep to my risk. That's the first thing that I do. I'm never ever... I'm more likely to pull my risk rather than expand it on any day. And I think that's a good quality that I've got, by the way. I will always stick to my risk. That's probably why I'm still here doing it. But just stressed, I think it's down to trying to prove something. But I'll tell you what really did unsettle me was Friday. Now, it all goes back to Friday. I was thinking about it last night. This all stems from Friday. I managed that trade on Friday badly. And you might think, oh, well, you had a winning day. But I'm going to be honest with you, I managed it badly. I should have had more on. I should have been up more than what it was. That potentially was a 9-hour winning day for me. And it wasn't. Now, I did okay, but it wasn't. And I think that's the first mistake that I made. I was too eager to take profits on Friday. It all stems back from Friday. Too eager to take profits to prove that I could, I'd have a winning trade or whatever, because Monday to Friday had been quiet. So I jumped at taking the profits, which is bad execution straight away. Then Monday comes along and I get caught out. And then Tuesday comes along and I'm in and out, I'm in and out of the market, in profit, out profit. I think I brought the highs, then it pulls back, I don't get stopped off. So it's been a bit of a roller coaster. But yeah, I'm not going to admit it. I will admit it, sorry, I am feeling really fried, to be fair. Take time to relax. Yeah, maybe, mate. Ignore your emotions. Yeah, I know, Aidan. I agree with you. Ignore them, but it's so tough. It really is. When you're dealing with live money on a normal account, and you know that you've made a mistake, it's tough. I'm not gonna lie. I'll be fine. I'll get over it. I'll be absolutely fine, and there's no problem at all. But I'm just trying to be completely honest with you guys, what's happening. And I'm sure you lot have all been through it before yourselves. Yeah, Sierra, exactly. Make mistakes. We all make mistakes, don't we? And this is the thing. But I haven't made mistakes where I've lost any money, though. It's just my execution has just not been quite right this week, and I'm noticing it. And I know that the triggers for me to start doing silly things are those types of triggers, if you understand. So yeah, mechanical trading systems back. Exactly right. So Mechanical Trading Systems has put it absolutely clear and precise there. Have a look at what he's put, because I'm sure you don't want to keep hearing me read everything back in my Stokey accent all the time. But if you're in the chat, watch what he says, and he's right. You're stuck in the psychological doom loop, and that's exactly where I feel like I could be entering that loop. So it's just what it is. You've just got to either take yourself out or get on with it and accept the sequence that's coming your way. It's as simple as that. Now, I know that I'm not going to be here on Friday. It's going to be very difficult for me to sort of trade on Friday because it's my anniversary. And I'm thinking to myself today, we're on the way to Manchester at 2. So is it worth doing anything? Is it worth ruining my 10-year anniversary by being in a trade that's going in and out of profit all day like Tuesday, which I've got to sort of monitor because it's impossible not to? Is it worth that emotional sort of stress for me? It probably isn't, is it? So that's where I'm coming from. So maybe it's best if I just stand aside today and come back on Monday with a fresh head, having had a little break and fully refreshed. Knowing where it stems from is key. Yeah, it stems from Friday, Lucas. It does. I know that. I was triggered on Friday because I'd finished up at 9 and I'd looked at where I should have the amount that I should have had in my account, and it wasn't right. Even though it was a winning day, it was executed poorly from my point. So I'm on the back foot then because I'm thinking, I should have made more money. I should have. My account should have been up more, and it wasn't. And when you're trading a sort of mechanical system like me, you know that the sequences are going to be very, very close. Like winning sequences are followed by losers. And there's no way of guessing where the losers are and the winners are. But yesterday, I was trying to save myself a little bit of emotional stress, a little bit of fear, a little bit of trying to be clever, which you guys know all that. It never works out for the best, does it? You just got to trade your bloody edge, and that's it. It's not worth it, Mark. Quit now. Enjoy your long weekend. Back refreshed Monday. Whatever anyone says, you cannot ignore your emotions. That's where I am, Mark. That is it. Don't risk crossing off your misses. Yeah. Hey, come, Ian. You had a good day yesterday, bud. I won't go into it. But yeah, Ian had a great day yesterday, from what I've heard. Let's just say it was Netflix and chill in Ian's house. I'm sorry if I've dropped you in it, Ian, but I just thought it was funny. Really appreciate your honesty. Yeah, and that's it, guys. I'm just trying to be honest. But what I'm trying to do is, this is the side that you see in it with trading. Like nobody shows you these sides. You can be up on your account and you can still be feeling like shit. Like this is it. Like I am up for September. You wouldn't think that by how I'm looking. You'd think that I'd be down, but I'm not down. I am up. I've not had a bad month overall, but I know that I could have done better, and that's what's triggered me. That is totally what's triggered me. And then all of them emotions creep in because like you feel triggered. So that's what it's going to be. I think I probably will just leave it and just step out. Sierra, you tweeted me a chart last night, and I was that fried. How's that looking out for you, that footsie? Oh, did you definitely get into that? I'll retweet it now. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, but I've seen it this morning. I had a look at it this morning. Have you been stopped, or are you long on that one? And maybe it's best I'll wait till you've told me, Sierra. Are you in? Are you in a profit? I assume that you might be in a slight drawdown. Let me know how it's gone. Don't even check your phone from two. No. Lost profits feel worse than losers. Yeah, you know what? I actually agree with you. I said to everybody yesterday, right? My favourite days are the days when I've just been. I know that sounds mad, but my favourite days are the days when I've just been stopped out, and like quickly, it's done for the day because you know that you're done. There's nothing worse than me than having a position on where you're going like in, out, in, out, in, out, and your alerts keep going off and on and off and on and off and on because it's a constant roller coaster, isn't it? And however, when you're trying to trade mechanically, however you feel, your gut starts to. It's so tough, right? Your gut always starts to creep into it. You trade mechanical systems with your head, and in my opinion, that's the best way to trade. When you're trading with your head, for me, my gut feel always is wrong. It normally is because your gut starts feeling all the emotions of money loss and profits and like the real side of like your stomach. It's like your nervous system's in your stomach. When I'm thinking with a clear head and I'm not thinking with my gut, I always seem to make the right decision all the time. Like 99 times out of 100, I'm right with my head because it's all planned out. And don't get me wrong, I can still be wrong with my head, but what I'm saying to you with the decisions I make with my head are normally very clear and they will be sticking to my strategy. So if I'm okay with losing if I stick to my strategy, that's fine. But with my gut starts wanting to mess with things. It's afraid of making the money. It gets nervous. It's it's trying to be fearful. It's trying to not look an idiot on YouTube in front of people. It's all these things your gut start, and you got to try and like push that down and get away from it. But when I start thinking with my gut, I know that that's I'm triggered. Using pivots from DAX cash market prices, R2 as the current low of the day, 18.15, 5-minute converted into support. Yeah, pivots are good. Has anybody seen that guy? Has anybody seen that guy Mark Fisher who uses pivots? He's one of the biggest oil traders ever. He did a YouTube on how he uses pivot points, and still to this day, in oil. If anybody wants the info, go on YouTube, look at him. He's not a guru. He's like the biggest oil trader in New York. He's huge. He's got a bald head, looks a bit chunky. He's not in the greatest shape, but you're not going to be, are you, if you've been trading all your life? But the stuff that he does, like a free class for a university, and the stuff that he talks about is absolutely amazing. It's all free. He uses opening range theory for oil, and he uses certain pivot points throughout the day, and it's fabulous. Now, I watched this years and years and years ago, and every couple of, I don't know, maybe every 6 months, something like that, I click back on it and watch it again because he's absolutely amazing. And his name's Mark Fisher, and he's one of the biggest oil traders in New York, and still to this day, his firm uses opening range theory in all of its markets. He uses it in oil, the S&Ps, Nasdaq. He trades all the commodity markets like gold, corn, all that stuff. So have a look at him. Go onto YouTube and put Mark Fisher opening range or something like that. Very, very good. Mark Fisher. Because I was like, oh, he's got the same name as me, so that means that I might be as good as him one day. And we've got the same body type as well, to be fair. I'm not the tallest and I'm pretty chunky, so I just need to lose my hair now. And then I'm right there with him. But yeah, he's a right ledge. He's a proper, big trader. And he doesn't do services or anything like that. He's like huge. Let's have a look. Dave, what's your thoughts on today? This is the thing, like, Dave, I don't really, this is where I don't want to get into again and have any thoughts. Like, I just want to execute my edge. Like, I'm hoping that I get a signal to go long or short. So I'm trying to not box myself in like I have been doing with like any sort of bias, if you know what I mean, Dave. But for me, it's just long above and short below the DAX opening range, and I will just stick to that now because I sort of like box myself in my own head, if you know what I mean. When I give someone a bias for the day, and I should have no bias really. I should just have an entry and an exit, and that's it, and enter it. So I think that's like where I start, like, like going down that road of bias. What do you expect? Well, I'm either going to have a winner or a loser. Like, that's what I expect. So, do you know what I'm saying? And I think that's where I'm going wrong, I think. Because I should have no bias as a trader, should you? You should have, like, obviously you've always got to sort of think where you'd like to enter or exit, but there should be no bias. How I trade, me personally, I should have no bias. None. I shouldn't be thinking, like, this is going to come back in. That, like, for me, that it just doesn't mean nothing. I should just enter the market if I get my entry, and I should exit if I get stopped. But yeah, so I'm gonna try and refrain from doing that because it's not doing me any favors at all, I'm afraid. But I'd have no entry yet anyway. None. I would need a little bit more of a pullback. So that would be the bias that I have to get me into a trade. So yeah. Your gut wants you to move that stop loss and take profit early. Yeah, it does, and then that screws me up, Nick. That's exactly how I was doing it on Friday. Took two scales too early. I should never have done it. And then obviously that's where I am. That's where I'm led to now, down this path of trying to sort of listen to my gut as if my gut was right on Friday when it wasn't. My gut was wrong on Friday. I shouldn't have done nothing. I should have just left it all on till the end of the day and had at least 50% worth of the actual full trade on for 9 p.m. and I didn't. So this is how it gets you, isn't it? And like, you make one mistake, and poor trading leads to poor trading. That is the thing. It always does. Like, you normally don't get out of it until you start executing properly again. And yesterday I didn't still, so I'm still on this sort of path of poor execution. So I need to pull myself out of it, and I will do. It's no problem. I'll get it sorted. I'll be cool. Nick, so tell me what you're doing, right? Because yesterday, right, you're telling me that you were short on the opening range break on the DAX. Is that correct? And then you've just got short now stopped at 1R, and you flipped. I am now flip long or break. Stops at break even. Explain what you're doing. Have you got a short in here? Are you short here? In this area? Is that what you're doing? With a stop above this high, expecting us to roll over here? Let me know. I'm interested in that. Dave, fair enough. Yeah, fair enough, Dave. I don't know what it is with me. Maybe, you know, Dave, I'm just trying to be completely honest with you. I think if I try and build myself into a bias, I can often sort of like try and, like, that bias affects our trade for the rest of the day. It's so strange. It's like my brain sort of thinks that that's what I should be doing. And then I find it very hard to talk myself out of it, if you know what I mean. It's so weird. 8 a.m. 5-minute candle break. I aren't understanding what you're doing, Nick. So you're short here on the 8 a.m. candle. But for me, how I would look at it is, I would look at it, right, I would want to get short if we poke through the opening range and then we fail. So I would have been looking at, it's not my system at all, but I would have been looking at getting short there. No, maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. Because how are you thinking? How are you thinking that this here? Are you just thinking that the opening range is high set there? Because this is the 8 a.m. candle, isn't it? Like, are you just thinking that we're going to roll over here? Like, for me, how I look at it is I always want the opening range to be set and then at least tested one side to either give me a short, which, that's not part of my system, or this short here means that these traders, once these get taken out, of normally being trapped, if you know what I mean, and these are going to get taken out. That's how I used to look at it on a 1 minute time frame when I was trading. Like, let's get into it now, and I'll just offer you something. Like, this is the opening range, yeah? There's your 7 a.m. low. There's the high of the session before 8 a.m. at this point. Now, once we probe through there, right, I'd be looking at, right, whoever's short in here is expecting this to roll over and come back into the opening range, right? But if they're wrong, where are they probably wrong? Well, if we get back above the opening range, I would be tempted to take that long there and put my stop underneath this point here when I used to trade on the shorter time frames. Can you see that? So if whoever's shorted the break of the opening range here, like for me, once we get back above the opening range, the context of their trade's gone. Like, they're going to get taken out and shot probability-wise. Like, it doesn't happen all the time, obviously. But if you're seeing, like, decent green candles here break this opening range, I've got no problems with someone putting a stop beneath there and looking for expansion of it and for these guys to get stopped out. And that's exactly what's happened this morning. I think the same thing happened yesterday when we finally broke out again. But that's just how I try and build a scenario around an opening range break. But this is sometimes a good trade. Like, these guys here who short this with a stop above there, like, this could roll over. So there's two ways of looking at it. But for me, I would be always looking at the expansion on a day, especially on a day when you get a tight balance. On a really big balance day, you might find that you'd prefer to be with the shorts and be looking for the rotation back into balance with your stop above the high. But that's how I look at it, if it helps anybody. So, yeah, Mark Douglas's stuff for the psychological side. Yeah, that I've read every psychological book going day, but and I agree with you, it does help. But for me, the whole thing comes down to execution. If my execution is good, if my execution of my edge is good, my psychological, all the aspects of psychology are all good. It's only when I start not executing properly or have slipped up that all the psychological stuff creeps in. So the only way that I can get back to having a decent psychological mindset again, is by executing properly. That's it. Because at the moment I could read every book and listen to every video about meditation, going for a run, drinking green juice, whatever. But unless I'm going to come in tomorrow and execute my edge properly, my psychology, all the aspects of my psychology will still be like shit, if you know what I mean. So for me, like these guys that are doing all the psychology stuff, they must be making thousands of pounds. But you know, and there's all these courses and stuff that you can go on, and I assume that it's good. But I've never met a trader that's executing his edge properly, who's got edge, right? Because that's the key as well. You have to have edge, because you could just be executing a bad strategy that doesn't make any money, and then you cycle, you know, you're going to feel like a mug again, aren't you? But if you've got edge and you're executing your strategy properly, I've never met a trader who's the psychological aspects of trading or you know, like you're struggling with. It all comes, for me, as the number one key is execution. Once you start executing poorly, everything else sort of starts trying to rear its head up. So I just need to get back to executing properly. That's it. That is it, basically, for me. And then everything will just make sense again. And even if it's a losing trade, my next one, if I've executed it properly, I'll be happy. I'll be happier than I am now, definitely. Drinking green juice increases strike rate by 2.5%. Possibly. I don't know if that's been proven, Lucas, but if that's the case, maybe I need to go get some. We should do more backtesting together. I've been playing with when to move stop to break even. Change. So yeah, you need data for that. You need spreadsheets for that. You need to look at when it is the optimal time for you to move to break even. It might not even be to move to break even. You might find that by moving to break even, you're going to end up tripping yourself up. The only way to do that is to literally eyeball it, get to Sierra charts, get historical data, and go through it and spend 2-3 days backtesting everything with all of your entries, and have the spreadsheets open at like 1, 2, 3, 4R, 5R end of day. You know, like I've said to you, and work out like if you know, like what is the optimal sort of profit take for you, and if it is ever moving you know, like, is moving your stop to break even actually even profitable? Like, the only way that you can know is by sort of sitting there and doing the hard work, really. There's no easy way with it, is there? DAX 4-hour WB 1565 is short if I front run, and some reversal volume blocks here at 15669. Okay. So WB, right, you know, when you're looking at your DAX reversal volume blocks there, do you mind sharing that with us? Is that something that you've got that you would share? Because I don't know what you mean there. Is there anything, like, what chart are we looking at for these reversal volume blocks? Can we see it on a normal chart, or is it something that you've got with, like, Sierra, where it's a, you know, like a unique indicator to you? Let me know about that, because I'll have a look at that. Like, what are volume blocks? Let me know. Trading on a full moon increases edge. You've got to take whatever edges are available, Dave. If it's a full moon, trade it. What are you looking at, WB? Let me know. I'm interested. I'm not trying to, like, you know, delve into your edge if it's something that you don't want to tell people, but I'm just interested in what you're seeing. Mark, did you previously work for a prop firm, Callum? No, mate, I've never been at prop. I live in Stoke-on-Trent, you see, so it's very, very tough for me to actually get to prop. Don't get me wrong, Callum, if I was around London, I would be the first person knocking on any of the prop firms' doors. I would be. I really would. I would love it. It's right up my street, that is. I'm a massive team guy. I play football. I love being in a team, and this is why I started up YouTube, really, just to have banter and a bit of camaraderie with people. I love being in a team environment. I'm a massive team player. I was captain of my football team, stuff like that. I love it. I love all the banter, the days out, you know, the nights out, all that type of stuff. The bouncing off each other's ideas, stuff. I would love prop. I would love it. But I'll just live too far away from anywhere that would make it realistically an option for me. I'm like 2 hours 20 away from London, and I could go and move down London and stuff like that, and, you know, go and give that a crack. But I've got a family. I don't know if I'd want to risk moving down there and upsetting all of their lives. My wife's got a business here in Stoke-on-Trent. You know, to go down there, like, I could go down there and stay down there for 3 months and see if I could crack it down there, and I think I probably could. But if I crack it, then I've got to move to London, haven't I? And I just don't know if I want to upset everybody's lives when I can sort of try and do it remotely from here. There is remote prop firms, obviously, and that's something that I'm potentially looking into at the moment. But all the scam ones and stuff like that, like FTMO and that, they don't interest me. I want to be part of a proper team. I don't want to be on, and I'm not. I heard the other day that FTMO had paid somebody out and stuff like that, but you're just on your own still, aren't you? Like, I would much prefer to be part of a prop firm that I'm speaking to somebody day in, day out. You've got sort of a relationship that you can build with a team or something like that. Like, that interests me. That really does. You should start a prop with Dante. Yeah, that could be possible. That could possibly work. That could. Me and Tom have had this conversation before in the past when we've been out on a drink, that somebody needs to do something like that. It could possibly work. An online prop firm could. I don't know how it would all be policed and stuff though, but it definitely could. But yeah, it's tough trading at home, isn't it? No trade floors in Birmingham. No, there's not, Dave. Not that I've seen. I have looked everywhere. There's some. If you go onto certain trade websites and stuff like that, there is potentially some in Manchester. But when you go and actually look at them, they're all scammy ones. They're not. They're like sort of Astro FX. Like, they're not proper prop firms. It's all a scam, like where they want you to trade demo and stuff like that, and they want your money off you and all that type of stuff like that. It's all very, very scammy, and I think it's similar to what Astro FX are doing. A lot of people are going down that route now, if you've noticed, where I think Astro FX are doing it where you go into their accelerated program, but you're actually trading demo. You're not trading live funds, and then they keep your money, which are live, and then when you lose your money, they keep your money. It's crazy. Move up to Glasgow. Desk for you and Tom here. Sam, KB. Yeah, I've said to Tom, Sam, we should come up. Me and Tom should. We should come up for the day. Or maybe a few days. I'd love that. That'd be a good little trip. We could come up and do a live. I could do a YouTube live from your office, and get Tom involved, and we could come up. I'd fancy that. I'd come up there with him. Why is FTMO a scam? Right, so for me, FTMO is a scam because the things that they put in place for you to trade and prove that you can trade, that they don't add up. It would worry me straight away that you have to you've got to hit a certain hit rate, and I've looked at the risk and stuff like that they ask for you to get through, and it's not promoting a healthy trading sort of strategy for me. And I think they've put it in so that most people fail so they can take the money off them. I think if you fail FTMO, and I've never tried it, by the way, it doesn't mean that you're a bad trader. I don't think it does. I just think that it means that you haven't hit the guidelines of what they're trying to get you to hit. And I know that they're trying to shill their service, by the way. I know that. I know that their service is being shilled. They're trying to sell their service actively. And the more people that fail, the more money that they make. So I don't think they're trying to help you. I just think they're trying to make you jump through very high hoops, and then they'll fund you. And I don't know if a lot of their funds are demo for a big length of time. I know proper prop firms in London, right? And it's a 60-40 or it's a 50-50 or it's a 60-40 split with live funds, and they'll give you a clip and that's it. And like, they give you risk limits, obviously, and that's it. They ain't bothered how you trade or what like how you do it or what ratios you hit. Are you making money? Yes, that's it then. Well, welcome to our firm. There's your clip. Cool, Sam. Yeah, that'd be good, Sam. I'd come with him. We'd be like Batman and Robin, me and Tom was. looking for blinking scammers or something like that. We could do it like a Batman and Robin day out. I don't know. FTMO, you pay to trade a demo and limitations is really hard. Yeah, that's it, Dave. So I don't know why that goes in. Why they've got them limitations, and you have to do it within certain amount of trades, I think, and stuff like that, or by a certain day. For me, that's bullshit. Are you making money? Yes. Well, that's it then. Like, are you sticking to your risk? Yes. Are you making money over the course of a month or a year? Yes. Well, you're doing better than 90% of everybody else. Like, surely that's what you need to be doing. Like all of these sort of figures that they make you hit, and trades within the amount of trades and all that stuff. That's all horse rubbish. That's designed to trip people up, to like to put stress on people so that they have to hit that, and then they end up tripping themselves up. So more people lose, and they keep more people's entry money. That's how I see it. They capitalise on the high percentage of failures. Yeah, definitely they do. Trader Z, message me on Twitter. I can put you into the London-based firm I trade for. Right, Trader Z. So are you trading prop then? I mentioned Trader Z yesterday, right? He's a good trader. This guy is. I've seen his charts, and I said yesterday in the stream that he looked like his entries and his exits were on point. Like when I scan people's charts, I can see. Especially if they're on the longer time frames, if they're on point and they're clean. And Trader Z's a good trader. You should follow him. I think he's good. So who are you trading for, Trader Z? Are you allowed to tell us that information, or is it sort of something that you don't want to get into? But let us know. Batman and Robin, please wear the lycra suits. Yeah, we will do. Definitely. Sam, how's it going in your office today, mate? Have you got a full office? How many lads are up there with you? What's going down? Are you guys up this week? Are you down? Did you have a good day yesterday? Did any of you make any trades? What were you seeing yesterday? Your firm, how have you done? Do you have to pay anything at a prop firm, Aidan? Yeah, you do normally, Aidan. Yeah, you normally have to pay a desk fee every week. And I think that ranges from prop firm, just to answer your question. It can range, but I've heard it's like 300. Sometimes it can be up to 500 a week. So you do have to pay, but they give you everything. They give you all of your data feeds. They give you an account with money in it, with risk in it. They give you all the screens. They have all the latest Squawk feeds on. And you're also with like-minded other individuals, aren't you? Like Sam might be able to tell you actually. Like, what do you have in yours, Sam? What are you guys got on? Do you have all the Squawks and stuff going off? Do you have any Bloomberg terminals? I think like most of them in London that you pay that type of money for, they have Bloombergs and stuff, and they have risk managers, stuff like that. So it's just all in all, it's just more of a more professional environment, Aidan. So you do have to pay for it, yeah. And then that's another thing. I think if like you have to have that sort of amount of money every week to square them up, because it starts coming out of your overall account, I think. Because obviously you've got to pay your fees, and if you're not making any money, then it doesn't take a long time before you start, going into negative equity, I think. Maybe Sam could point that out. Why would you ever pay to trade a demo account, Scam Central? I know, but people have been dangled the carrot of getting funded, Mikos. That's the thing, that's what they're doing. Like the live account carrot that they hold in front of these traders and then say, right, you've got to hit this amount of money within this amount of time. That's enough for people, but I think it's like 400 quid. I might be wrong, might be 375, might be 400. But it's what an amazing business. Like FTMO, like I'm not like amazing. If I could set a firm up like that, it'd be amazing, wouldn't it? Like you've got no risk. Everybody's trading demo. They're paying you 400 quid to give them a demo account. Most of them lose and do their arse. The ones that win are normally, half decent traders, I imagine. So then you fund them with live money that you then give them risk limits on again. And as soon as they lose a certain amount, you pull it anyway. So it's like they've got like zero risk and they're creaming everybody for 400 quid. And it's dead popular. Like so many retail traders that I've seen on Twitter are all about FTMO. It's like they must be making millions, surely. And there's no risk. It's like, what a business model. But I think that's what Astro are doing. Astro have gone down that route. I've been into this before. That's what they're doing. They're getting everybody to trade demo, and they're giving them the live money, their account money, and then when they've lost it, Amin Nat is telling them that they've been on a live account when it was really demo, and then he's keeping all the money to himself. So he's having everybody's losses, and because everybody loses, he's fucking creaming it in. So let's have a look at this. Bull flag on DAX. Potentially, yeah, it is a tight bull flag. It's not something that I'm going to be trading myself though, but I can see what you're thinking, Dave. I haven't had a big enough pullback yet. £300 per calendar month for Squawk, desk full, PC setup, right, etc. How much do you charge, Sam? What are your fees for getting on your desk up there in Glasgow? What do you want off people? What is the what's a desk fee? What's the weekly desk fee for everybody? Let us know. I'm interested. And Yeren, do you give them any capital? Dave's just called that out. Do you give them any capital? Or is it people's own money and they're just paying you to be part of a team and stuff, and to have, other people sat next door to them and be in that room? Do you actually fund people's accounts, Sam? Are you giving them a live account to play with and trade? Or are you saying to them, right, this is your money, like you've got to come up with your account money. Desk fees come out of Mikos, desk fees come out of P&L, right? Okay, so you see, so if you're a losing trader, you're gonna get smashed both ways. I think Mikos, were you the guy that was on the other day? Am I right? Were you the guy that was on the other day that was saying that Tom is a toilet cleaner? Have I got the right guy? I can't remember your username, but I'm sure it was. If you are, say yes, because Mikos is a proper ledge if possible. I'm not going to say his name or anything like that, but this guy's a proper big time ledge. £75 per week, right? So that's So all your traders in that room are paying you £75 a week, are they? For all of the and that gets them the feed, and it gets them in your office and gives them a desk with all of the computer equipment. That's not a bad deal, is it? Right, Mikos is in the room, is he? Yes. I'm not going to divulge it, but Mikos is a massive trader in London. Huge. So this is a crazy, right? So don't be fooled by thinking that everybody's just a retail trader in here. I know that Mikos isn't. He's a big boy in London. So good to have you in here, Mikos. Hope I'm not sounding like a clown. I think that's a good deal, Sam. 75 a week. I really do. It's definitely acceptable, isn't it? It really is. There is the option to trade your own capital or Oh right, Sam. So you're like your traders are funded by FTMO, are they? We want everyone trading our own capital. Sam gets the guys funded through FTMO. Right, Sam. So you could probably tell us more about this. Is that right? Do you get live money, or is everybody just obviously doing their arse? Like, what is the sort of funding rate that you've seen? How many of your guys get funded by them? Do you have a strategy that gets them funded? Have you got a specific sort of, like maybe a systematic type of trading strategy that which there's got the right win rate or something like that to hit them and get them funded? Because how many of them fail, basically? Did they come to you already funded by FTMO, Sam, or are they? Or is that something that you do once they come to you? These, like the people that come to you to use your desk. Mikos is looking for some level call-outs in here to smash. He probably is, He probably is. He's probably waiting for one of us to call a level out, and then he'll put some risk on and smash through it. Yeah. Mikos, I've done my arse this week, really. I really have, honestly. I feel like such an idiot. I just get into it from yesterday, mate. I come in yesterday with a massive bias I wasn't going to trade, and I shouldn't have done it. I should have been in the market yesterday at, I think it was 10 to 3, and I didn't do it, and my account, I should have ended up 2% up yesterday, and I didn't, and I'm seriously, it would have been 4% up on this account, and I know I'm talking in hindsight, but I'm really freaking disappointed with myself. I really am. Yeah, I don't know why I did it. I think I'm trading in fear with having big dogs like you around me in my room and stuff like that. I think I've got a little bit of fearful again. So it's just ridiculous. So I need to sort it out. It's my 10-year anniversary tomorrow, Mikos. I'm getting Manchester later on with the wife. So I'm not going to be around Friday. I'll be back Monday. Maybe it's best to just have a few days off, because I feel like a right dick. I really do, to be honest with you. If anyone has any thoughts on whether I could get funded to properly trade my strategy portfolio, I'd love to hear from you. Lots of algos and don't have the capital to fully exploit them. Yeah, Mechanical Trading Systems is on Twitter, guys. Have a look at him if anybody's interested. Trader Z, you haven't told me yet. You haven't told me yet who you were trading for, Trader Z, or have you? Have I missed it? Just have a look. Because he said he was funded. Let's just have a look. I can't see. Trader Z, let me know. I've missed that. Mikos is here to fade us. Yeah, he is. Oh dear. He's yeah. Take time off and enjoy your anniversary. Don't force it. Thanks, buddy. Appreciate that. I think that's what probably for the best. Definitely. It sucks. It really does. But you know what? Like that, I set myself up for that bias, and I think I was fearful. Been into it this morning with the guys. I don't know if you heard it, but I think I was fearful that I was going to look a mug by trade because I come on here yesterday and I'm like, I'm going to keep my powder dry. And by putting that bias into my brain, I sort of was like reinforcing the point that I wasn't going to trade. Now that setup yesterday was an absolute concrete setup for me. Like there was no reason that I shouldn't have taken it, other than the fact that I had that bias, that psychological bias that I'd give it myself in the morning. Like what a mug! Like what an idiot! And like last night I was saying I was ready to throw up. I literally felt like throwing up last night. It was awful. It was worse than like taking a loser. Or two losers. I would have much preferred that, but it really did hit me hard last night. I felt like throwing up. I didn't eat my tea or anything, which is very unlike me. So yeah, I'll be back Monday. And just execute it with no bias. Like, for me to have a bias is not how I need. I don't trade with a bias. I should never have a bias. I should just get an entry, and I should hit it, and it stops me out or it goes, and that's it. Having a bias kills me. It really does. Because I never make the right decision ever with a bias. Let's play a game of hit the spoof. First one to go insolvent loses. I think Mikos is moving millions of pounds around, guys. I don't know if you two know each other, Trader Z, but Mikos is a big dude. Like, from what I've heard, he's like... we're talking mils, not like thousands. Which is amazing. He's in my room. It's good. I'm glad he is. At least one of us a proper trader in here. Dave, this bull flag looks like it could go on the DAX. It looks nice and tight, doesn't it? That it really does. It looks tight. Let's see if it goes. Are you in it, Dave? Hopefully you are. Missing trades that win are the worst. Yeah, they are, dude. Honestly, I was sick last night. I really was. Morning, everyone. Went long cable at 1362 yesterday at 12 p.m. with a target at 137. Went all the way up to 1369 and reversed. 69, buddy. That's always the reversal number in my trading. Honestly, 69 is the worst number for me ever. For some reason, honestly, it sucks. They are the reversal number, seriously. Never have no 69s in real life, obviously, but in trading I always get stopped out at 69. Is there space on Sam's desk for losing traders like myself? Ask him, Matty. Ask him. Ask him, dude. Can you show your empty backtest spreadsheet? Right, change. So what I do with it, it's in my Google Docs and I've got other important info in there, so I can't flick onto it now, but I will show you. But mine basically has, when I was backtesting all of my DAX stuff, I had the optimal profit sort of take profit area. So go through it with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 or end of day, and look at the sequences of each entry over the course of a month, over the course of 3 months, over the course of 6 months, and then over the course of each year that you backtest, and you will see the optimal take profit for your strategy. And it might be a mixture of all of them, and it might be just leave it all on till the end of day. But you have to do that. Like, that's how I set my spreadsheets up to sort of work that out for me. Edge won't do it for you. If you go on Edge won't, there is something that will do that for you. But I don't want to give Edgewonk my edge. I'm not daft enough to get on Edgewonk and like compute my edge in and tell them guys like what a scam that is. I've been into that before though. They've got everybody's edge, so you know if yours is making money, like what an amazing thing. Like I would just trade that, wouldn't you? So yeah, so be careful. Do it yourself on your own spreadsheet if you don't want people to know about it. Actually, no, I won't be saying where I work. Mikos. Yeah, don't get into it, Mikos. You'll have all of us lot knocking on your door down there asking to get funded. We'll catch Tom in the toilets cleaning it out though, won't we? With his mop and bucket. Keep it to yourself. Many of our guys aren't consistent when we first take them on. I think Glasgow's you know, like it's just one of them things. If I imagine most of you guys, if you are from England, are right, London, Manchester area, maybe around London, but Glasgow's just a bit too far out for me. Samos, I would generally come up. I would love come up and just come up, say hello, have a coffee or whatever. You're just a bit too far away. It's like 3.5 hours away from me, and I think from London, is it like 5 hours on the train? 5.5 hours. It's like a big trip. You'd be better off flying probably, wouldn't you? From Heathrow or City, London City. Are you on Twitter, Mikos? He is on Twitter, but that's not his Twitter username, TraderZ. He is on Twitter. I don't think he's calling traders out on Twitter, though. This is the thing with these big guys, right? If you look at one of their Twitter accounts, they aren't like giving signals out or giving plans out where they're like colouring, giving you a trading plan for the day and saying if it goes up here then I'm going to make money and if it goes down here I'm going to make money. They're just not doing that. He's sat at home managing like millions of pounds worth of risk, so he ain't got time to come on Twitter and like, you know, act like a legend on Twitter because he's a legend in real life, isn't he? Like this is I hope that this is what everybody sort of gets from it, that these big guys, the guys that are really, you know, in the thick of the action, they ain't got time to come on Twitter and like, you know, give plans out or like give fans, you know, trading signals out. They're already in it balls deep every day, aren't they? So think about that maybe, if it helps anybody out. Mikos, if you need a toilet cleaning, just give me a shout. Sierra, yeah, I'll come and help you. Maybe me and Sierra can come and clean the bugs out for you, Mikos. We'll make the teas and give the biscuits out, we will. Speart, you ever considered holding winners for multiple days? This would result in many winning trades coming back to break even and for loss, but maybe 2 or 3 a year would become huge wins. Yep, that can definitely be something that you can take into it, Speartooth. For me though, I'm not saying that I would never do that, but I've never done that because I'm not back tested for that. So mine are always taken off at 9. But I know what you're saying. Once you get a break lower, a lot of the time that, you know, like especially when you get a structure break in the market, why take it off? Why take it off? That's what Nav was doing, wasn't it? He was. I think I read a story that he was holding millions of pounds worth of risk and he went to bed, just woke up the next morning like, great. But from a psychological perspective for me, if I was in a trade overnight, like I don't sleep very well anyway. I really don't. Find it tough. Especially after a stressful day, I really do find it tough to sleep. So if I had a trade on overnight, I'd be up all night checking it. You know, I'm not going to lie to you, I'd find that really tough to deal with. I'll talk to him for you, TraderZ. I'll let him see what he says. I don't think he wants to get involved on Twitter very much because obviously if people know that you're trading big size, you're going to get loads of people following him, and I don't think that's what he's in there. I don't think that's what he's sort of after. I think he just obviously he's a big trader, isn't he? And that's all he's sort of thinking about. So I'll ask him, but I don't think he wants to put his name out there. Basically, stay as Mikos. It's cool to just have him in the room. Essex, yeah. It cracks me up that people think that these big hedge fund traders and big traders are going to be sat on Twitter laughing my ass off. Yeah, and I don't think he is sat on Twitter. Yeah, exactly. He's in my room though. I can brag about that. He is in my room. He's probably checking to see if I've done my arse or not, but yeah, he's in here. Maybe he's looking to fade us. Nav was able to do that because from what I've read, the bloke is a lunatic. definitely. But he's obviously very, very good, isn't he? Like I would, like I said, I would pay to sit next to him. Big money. I would love to. He's one person that I wouldn't mind paying for education off. Like seriously, like whatever that guy was doing and seeing. But this is the thing, right? You could go down there and say to him like, "What you're doing?" Like, I sit with him for 2 days, and you might think to yourself, "Fucking hell, this is crazy." Like, this guy's got no stop. He's averaging in. Like, everything that you've been taught is like, he's not doing it. And you just might not see it. Your brain might not be able to compute what he's actually doing. So even if you paid 20 grand to go and sit next to him for a week, you might not still make any money. You might just be, not able to see what he's doing. Maybe his style was unique to him, and that's just how it is. Could you trade no stop with the spoos? Go bed, wake up, not be worried, sleep right? I don't know. I don't know if I could. Can still see Nav's old company accounts. Yeah, I think he did like big money in though, didn't he? He got a lot of it taken off him, and lost a lot through different bad investments. I don't think he was all the ticket. I think he had something wrong with him not to be emotionally attached to the money side. Yeah, Dave. I'm not emotionally attached to money though, David. I'm not. This is why I'm not really. That's why I'm a bit bothered about what's happened this week, because I think I'm more bothered about losing, like in front of people. Like having this room on and stuff like that. Like, I'm not bothered about losing money. I really aren't. I used to lose money all the time. I've traded different things all my life. Like I've said, I used to be a market trader. Then I've traded cars. I've always traded and lost money on trades that I've made in the past. It's not really about the money for me. I think I could handle the money. The money's fine. It's more about looking like an idiot, I think, that's caught up with me this week. And like that's where the fears crept in. I think if nobody was watching me this week, and like, I'm not trying to use it as an excuse because it's not, but if nobody was watching me this week, I don't think I would have been too bothered. I think I'd be okay. So everybody's got different things, haven't they? Everybody's got different things that affect them. I couldn't go for a cup of tea if I had no stop, let alone go to sleep. Yeah, exactly. But he was the legend. He was the ultimate, wasn't he? Wasn't he spoofing? I think he was, Mark, but I don't think that was. I don't think the spoofing side of things was how he. I mean, obviously, I think it probably had a part on that day that he lost. He made that amount of money, but everybody's spoofing, aren't they? So I don't think it was that was his edge. Completely, I think he obviously used the spoofing side of it because everybody else was doing it, and he was trying to just, stick his finger up to the other lot that were doing it. And I just think he got caught for doing it. Whereas if you go onto a dom, the spoofs in all the time still. Like when I've been looking at doms in the past, you can see so many spoofs going on. And you think that guy sat in prison for it, and it's still going on to this day. I don't think that was his edge. I don't think that was his actual edge. I think he was just obviously very good at seeing where the markets and the flows were heading, and he was very, very good at sitting and holding his trades. Like when he was into something that he was on it, he would hold like a motherfucker, wouldn't he? And just literally hold for dear life. Like not a lot of people can do that. There we go. Right. So yeah, you're right. The most successful trader on my desk at the moment doesn't consider correlations, doesn't adjust size, etc. for it. Breaks every rule and consistently hits really decent R weeks. I have to bite my tongue because he's got the stats, etc. to back it up even if I'm uncomfortable with it. It explains why I sit down to go to the toilet now. Lavender spray apparently lowers testosterone. You see how everybody who's just brought that bull flag there has just been faked out. You see how that candle filled up? Just want to make people aware of what's just happened there if you're watching the DAX. So, I'm not saying we can't go up any further, but that candle there, that 5-minute candle, has just gone through them highs, and it was fully green, like literally 1 minute ago. And I find this a lot with traps on the DAX. Now, they will fill that candle up with you, the 5-minute candle, they'll fill it up. They will fill that thing up to the top, and then just before, like 30 seconds before the candle finishes, they hammer it down and catch you out. And that's what I'm saying to you about being careful with these traps and stuff like that on the DAX. If it just doesn't look right and feel right, and it, like, often the traps and reversals, and you see how we're coming off now? I call that like it's a bull flag trap, that is. Like, you've got to forget that this has happened here and think that loads of people are going to play for that break up there. And then obviously now they're all taking the stops, they're getting out of the position, and we're rolling down. Perfect trap. Perfect trap, if everybody's seen that. You're looking for a sweep of the low of the bull flag, so that you're looking for a sweep of this low here, are you? This low. Sweep the low and go. Is that what you're looking at, Lucas? Yeah, that's what I've heard. I've heard he was making money as a legit trader before all that spoofing stuff took off. You know, like, I've heard he was making money for years, so I think that was just something that he added at the end of it because he was constantly getting spoofed himself and people were sort of doing that to him, and I think he added it to what he was doing. And it was just unfortunate on the day that one all unravelled that he was actually, you know, probably the main spoofer on that day, and they just used him as a sort of scapegoat for why it happened. But we all know that it still happens, and it happens all the time now. It's just sad that he sat inside. He was sat inside prison when everybody's still doing something. That's what I thought was a piss take. Euro US dollar, probably a sell on rallies, feels like a no-brainer. There is a 4 buy of expiries at 1.1700 today, hence bids under there from people long gamma. Right, Mikos is dropping some technical stuff in there for you chaps. If everybody wants to look at the chat. What's your main markets, Mikos? Callum's asking. Watching Euro US dollar, but no trigger just yet. Trader Z, he's in on it as well. Trader Z, you didn't tell me who you traded for, prop wise. Throw it in, buddy, so we can know. Like, if you can't say, then fair enough. But just put like you can't say that, just so that you've heard me, and I won't keep asking. If you can't say, fair enough. But if you can, let us know. I'm interested. Who you working for? What team are you part of? Didn't he just get a year home arrest? Yeah, I think so. If he's not got a spread bet account open in his mum's name, though, that guy, I bet he has. I bet he's already made 10 mil this year. Bet somebody's looking at this, like, 58-year-old woman who's, like, Indian, or, like, what will the name be, like, something, you know, like, dead... Not funny, I shouldn't say that, but, you know, like, her name's, like, sweet old lady type thing, and she's absolutely smashing the markets. IG are checking her names and credentials, and they're thinking, so this woman's 58. It says she's got no trading history. She's got never been in the markets, never had any history of trading ever before, and she lives in near Heathrow and Hounslow, and she's took us for like 8 million quid this year. Like, what the hell is going on? We need to get someone go and knock on a door, go around their house, see what the hell's going on, and he'll be upstairs on his laptop smashing IG to smithereens. Unbelievable. You know that's happening. I think he's not allowed to trade. I think he's banned from any security transactions or anything like that, from what I've seen. So that would that would tell me that if you've got that sort of edge like he has, there's no way that he isn't. He's going to have a few rat holes. I think they call them rat holes, don't they? Where you're trading, you know, like a family member's trading, but you're really trading, you know, like to take it away from, like, under your umbrella. So I imagine that he definitely will have. Definitely. If you've got the expertise like him, you are going to be balls deep the market, aren't you? One way or another. So in his dad's account, his mum's account, anybody's account, he's going to be doing it. Definitely. Trader Z, you still haven't said who you're with. Let us know. Don't think he does trade higher time frames, Aidan, to be honest with you. I think he does a multitude of things, but I can't say just now, Mark. Right, okay, Trader Z, I'll shut up. No problem. Thank you for that, though. I appreciate that. As long as you've heard me, that's all that I was getting at. Cool, man. Good luck, though. Happy for you. Well done. Is it something that's new, Traders Ed? Have you started it recently, or have you been prop ledge for a long time? Barbara smashing the markets. Yeah, exactly. He will be, won't he, Dave? Like, he's got to be. He's got to have his mum's trading account or something. He has, honestly. It would just be so funny. Just the IG account manager that sat there thinking, this woman, you know, like, she's 58, no prior experience, and she's absolutely smashing us to smithereens. Like, you know, we need to get around there. Who is it? Just tell them what to do with the knowledge. Just for the record, I'm not what I would consider a massive trader. I know guys are a lot bigger than me. Yeah, so Mikos is pointing that out, right? So I would consider Mikos a big trader, but it's all relative, isn't it? So for us guys in here, I mean, I don't know, there might be a London whale in here, I don't know. Probably not, though. But for us guys in here, Mikos is a huge trader compared to us. But what he's trying to point out to say is there's people that are way bigger than him as well. But for us guys in here, he's a big boy, trust me. We're not talking about your BMI. Sam. I just don't want to put it on YouTube Live. Yeah, that's understandable, dude. It is, definitely. I wouldn't want to if I was, so I understand that. I really do. It's just nice to see somebody that's doing it. You know, like you and Mikos doing it properly. It's awesome. It's good to see. I'm good that you're in here. Sam's the Glasgow whale. Yeah, he is. There's always a bigger fish. Yes, there is, Sierra. We're goldfish boys, we are. Me and you, Sierra. We're little tiddlers. Mikos maybe isn't a great white, but he's definitely right up there. If he's telling us there's people bigger than him, maybe he's not a great white, but he's a tiger shark, I'd say. He's got to be a tiger shark. Sam has good Glasgow pants. We should all go up to Sam's place in Glasgow. It looks good. Glasgow's a pretty crazy town at night time as well. Like, it's a good city, isn't it, for going out and that. We should arrange a trader's day. Like the Jolly Boys outing on Only Fools and Horses. I don't know if anybody sees that. I love Only Fools and Horses, I do. I love the episode where they all go to Margate on the Jolly Boys outing. That is one of my favourites. It's amazing. Sad news this week, wasn't it, with Boise dying. You know, rest in peace to that guy. What a ledge he was. Amazing. Amazing series, and I don't think there'll be anything ever like that made ever again. Everybody's trying to be too politically correct, aren't they, nowadays? I've watched that all the time, and the jokes that are funny, like the touch and go, like half of them wouldn't even be allowed to be on now on anything that was new. But it's just really nice to look back and see that, you know, like what used to go on and the fun that they used to have. I just graduated into tadpole status. Sierra, yeah, we're tadpoles. Tom's the frog. Tom's the frog in the pool. The big chunky frog. If we're tadpoles, Tom's the frog. Mikos is a lemon shark. I don't know, dude. I'd say you're bigger than lemon shark. I've seen them lemon sharks before. Just for the record, I'm not punting 100 lots. See, I think Mikos is above that. I'm sure he is. Get a mini buzz, yeah. Stop moaning and start improving is where I learned. Dan Legg. Yeah, I did a video about that Dan Legg. Oh my god, that guy is so horrible. I don't even like looking at him on Instagram. He makes me feel ill. He's such a weird guy. He is. He's unbelievable. He is probably the worst scammer ever. I don't even like looking at his face. Like, something about him, he just looks a bit weird. So yeah, I think he's like living in Dubai or something like that, and he's trying to sell everybody's FX course as if it's like, you know, you're going to like be a billionaire by buying it off him for 400 quid. But who falls for this stuff? It seems to work, else they wouldn't all be doing it. It must be working. It must be paying well, because they wouldn't have the money to keep reinvesting in all the stuff that they do. Sam, so yeah, let's get into this, Sam, right? You do polished YouTube videos. This is something that I'm interested in knowing. I'm not trying to be nosy or like know your business or anything like that, but your videos are very, very good on YouTube, and they'd come across to more of the experienced, older type guy like myself as being like, you know, like you're sort of trying to attract that younger crowd by doing them, and I know why you're doing them, but why? What, you know, like when you're doing them, do they add to your inquiries for your prop firm from the younger generation? Obviously they do, else you wouldn't be doing them. But does that type of thing help your prop firm with the inquiries that it gets and stuff? Do you find that when you put those videos out, you get more inquiries, or, you know, like, because I assume that most of the people that are coming up your prop firm are like younger type, you know, like 25 and below, or maybe 30 and below, let's say. Now, maybe this is just the world that we're operating in now. Maybe people like me are becoming more like dinosaurs, and, you know, like, you're trying to attract the younger generation, so that's why you've got to do it. And that's maybe just the way that the whole scene's going. I don't know. So is that what you try and invest in? Do you pay for that stuff? Do you have somebody that comes in and does a media video for you? Because they look really good. Like, I'm assuming, and this is only an assumption, that you obviously don't do them yourselves. Like, you have a video editor or a media sort of person in there with you. Is that correct? Do you pay for them? Just wondering, because they are really polished. They're very good how you do it. Dan Legg was making 70 grand per calendar month from broker commission for a couple of years running. Fucking hell. 70k a month with no risk. Jesus Christ. And is that just from running his Instagram account like a loser? Well, obviously he's not a loser because he's the only one winning, but it just makes me angry. I would love to know how many people that he's put into these like spread bet brokers that have done their arse and lost money. So he's sat in bed in his Lambo and his £1 million apartment or whatever, and it's all of those people's losses. You know, we were all thinking that this industry's easy and they're going to crack it and they're going to make thousands of pounds in a month. Their losses are paying for that. I don't know if that fit right with me, resonate with me properly. I'd much prefer to try and do it all myself. And I know that maybe sounds like the lunatic approach, but I just try and do it all myself and become the best trader. And then when I'm sat in my bed, I'm sat in my Lambo, I know that it's all come from my brain and my hard work, and it's not come on the back of other people, you know, like falsely advertising to other people that this dream is easy for them to achieve. Yeah, mate, totally get it. It's my generation. Remember, yeah, that's it. You see, you're coming from the younger generation, aren't you? And this is what they're all used to. This media stuff. It's you know, that's what gets their attention. Then maybe that's what you need to do. So I'm naturally very active on social media, anyways. So it looks as though I'm trying to be active. In reality, I'm just active. Yeah. So Sam, you're just being yourself. You're just being a young dude, aren't you? Whereas from me looking at it, I'd be thinking, well, is he trying to sell it? Is he trying to sell something? Is he, you know, but I've not seen that specifically from you yet. I haven't. A bit more real. Whereas that Dan Legg guy is trying to sell something. He is trying to sell the dream. He is trying to make it look like it's all achievable and it's all attainable. And he's making most of his money from other people's losses. You know, like other people are thinking it's easy and they're buying his course and they're maybe subscribing to a spread bet firm and doing their arse. That's what I don't like about it. If you're making money and you're teaching people, fair enough, great. Like, as I said the other day, I've got no problem with anybody selling a course or selling education if they can prove that they can make money. I can guarantee that Dan Legg doesn't make money, though. He definitely doesn't. No way. He really doesn't. I'd bet 20 grand that he's never had a profitable month. And if he has, it's through a scam MT4 account where he's pretended he has. I produce all my own vids and pics and editing. I've had a guy in once or twice, everything else I do. Well, you're good at it then, Sam. I'll take me out of tier. I enjoy your videos, they're alright. They're pretty good. I think I've watched one of you where you're in Greece with your top off though. I don't know about that. I wasn't quite sure about that one. I think you had your top off hanging out of the top of a car or something like that, and I'm thinking to myself, this is a bit camp, but I suppose it's whatever floats your boat and you're just being yourself. But I think I remember you having your top off. Had a good body though, had a good six pack, not going to lie. I wished I was in that type of shape. Maybe that's what it was, Sam. Maybe I was a little bit jealous of it My missus is sat there next door to me watching. I was like, we best turn this off, love. We best get it off. He's got a 6-pack. Turn it off quick. Mikos, I would recommend being a good builder or property developer over trading. That's a good point, guys. Mikos has just been real there. You know what I mean, Sam? I would suggest that it's easier to make money in any other industry than this industry if you're good at your job, good at what you do. Like, I would imagine that 50 out of 50 every property developers that are even half good at the job make money. I would suggest that in this industry it's 10, maybe 10 out of every 100 people. The very, very good ones make money. The rest of them just break even and lose. So I think that's what he's getting at. You don't have to be stand out at what you do in other types of careers to still be okay and make money. Where in this industry you have to be absolutely at the pinnacle on the ball to actually be at a point which is like worthwhile doing. Like, I think like that's got to be pointed out as well, because I think some people can make money. Like, let's look at like over 100 people. I'd suggest that 5 out of the 100 are making really, really good money, which is worthwhile and worth being here for, and sitting here, taking all the shit, taking all the stress, the anxiety, the issues that come with trading, where you're constantly glued to your screen. You feel like you're constantly in front of the markets all the time. And then I would suggest that there's probably 10 or 15 after that 5 that are making money, but aren't making money in any significant amount there, where they wouldn't be making as much money if they weren't doing something else, like working at Tesco on a checkout. For the amount of hours and stress that you put into the market, would you be better off doing something like that? I know it sounds crazy, but you might be better off doing that, because not everybody who can trade profitably can handle big amounts of money, big amounts of risk. And that's the point. Like, the whole point of doing this is to make money, isn't it? So I think that's a good point. It really is. And then everybody underneath them is either breaking even or losing money. And they definitely would be better off in another career, without a doubt. But I know there's lots of people out there who can trade, but they just can't handle the big amounts of risk. That's a problem. And there's, like, I'd say out of every 100, 5 of them can. 5 of them can handle that big amount of risk. They can take the big amounts of money that they're playing with, and it doesn't affect them. Now them guys are smashing it, and then this career is obviously that it's made for them. Like, if you can handle the big amounts of money, brilliant. Like, you're going to be very, very wealthy, aren't you? For me, I've never had that opportunity yet to manage those big amounts of money. I've got my account, which isn't massive. It's not massive at all. I can trade that well, but I've never traded the big amounts of money. What's the DAX doing there? What's just happened? What the fuck is it doing? Did everybody see that? So what the fuck's just happened there? Let's go and have a look at small time frame. Look at that there. Look at that. 10:08:40. Somebody's fat thing at it. What the fuck is going on? We've just probed them lows though there, haven't we? What's just happened there, guys? Can anybody tell me? Mikos, can you tell me? Have we missed something there? Is there something going on the squawk? Why the fuck has the DAX just jumped up like that? Fake and break, possibly. Very weird, very weird. But this is how this market's been. The volatility's here, isn't it? So these are types of things that happen, like they do at the moment. It's not the sign of a healthy market, though. I will say that, in my opinion. I was just about to say I'm short, and the big candles just took you out, for fuck's sake. Right, yeah. So you were getting short in here, were you? Looks like 100 lot, yeah. Something's happened, hasn't it? Let's just have a look, see what's going on my proper account. Very strange price action there, guys. That's right. So the SPOOs and the NDX has done the same. That's why Mikos has probably gone. He's probably getting alerts and stuff like that. China regulators making statements on Evergrande. Right, Sam. Thanks for that. Right, okay, so it's the Evergrande stuff coming through. Thanks, Traders Ed and Sam. Nice one, guys. Yeah, it was definitely news related, but these are the flows that happen like this, right? This could set up a run now, this could. Data's tough to trade though, guys, it really is. And this is what I'm saying about my strategy this week. Like this if we break this high here, this is an entry for me. But my strategy all week has had me buying the highs of the day rather than the pullbacks, and it's just how the volatility is coming out at certain points of the day. And I said to you the other day, like, it's when I entered on them highs, I don't really like entering there, obviously, but if it's giving me an entry, it's giving me an entry. It's what I've backtested for. I've got to get long there. Trader Zed's just pushed 500 lots in. Good lad. Can you wait for me to get on board before you do that next time, please? Give me the heads up. Maybe we should all get long. Maybe we should all get long. How many's in here at the moment? Shall we all go long, one lot, at the exact same time? Do you think we'd move the DAX? Probably not. Probably we'll get stopped out pretty quick. Are you long, Sierra? Are you looking at this as a long here? On the DAX? Leg up now on the DAX to me. So you're thinking long as well then, Dave? Was looking for a show of strength. Right, okay, cool. I'm not seeing nothing yet for me. Nothing yet. Wouldn't you wait for a pullback, Kyle Rogers? Potentially, bud. But sometimes these pullbacks don't come. This is the thing with trading. If you wait for the pullback and get filled, brilliant, good stuff, well done, good lad. But a lot of the time, these pullbacks don't happen just how you want them to, and you can get left with no trade or just nothing on. And this is how it gets you. So you're long, are you, Sierra? Good lad, worth a shot. But if you're waiting for a pullback, Kyle, and this is your strategy saying you should wait for a pullback, wait for a pullback, buddy. Have the discipline. If just because other people are getting long, they're seeing different things than you. So I'm not saying that you should get straight into it. Don't. If you're waiting for a pullback, wait for the pullback. If that's what you backtested for, stay with that. Don't let other people jumping on here sway you into doing anything, buddy. Everyone's got to stay in the lane at the end of the day. It's a tough one, isn't it? It's a tough one, this is. It could go either way. It really could. The thing that I'm seeing, and obviously I don't really want to put any bias into anybody's head, but this low here going is one move. You'd expect the liquidity's gone from the bottom of the bull flag. The bull flag trap worked out, and then they've aimed for the liquidity and taken that, and then now they pushed it up. But then now this push up here, that's failed. It's all a bit of a mess, isn't it, to be honest with you? If we all put 3 BTC into a small cap coin, it will rock it. We should do that. Right, Mikos makes a good point. My old firm head office would take 20 graduates in. 1 would end up being really good. 3 would be solid. The rest wouldn't make it. Yeah, Mikos, so similar type of numbers as what I was saying before out of every 100. I was saying the same, yeah. That's that's a good point. So look at that, guys. The rest wouldn't make it. So it's a tough gig. It really is. It's a very tough gig. 1 would end up being really good. So only 1's really good. The 3 solid ones, they would probably make money and have a career out of it. But they're not going to be an absolute ledge. The rest wouldn't make it. Market has been paying attention to 50 DMA in ES. It's around 4422 today. So ES is the futures, guys, on S&P 500. Check that out. Adrian, I'm not touching the DAX today by the looks of it. If that's what you're thinking, buddy, stay out. Looks a trickery, like what a slippery snake this is now. He stopped everybody out both ways. He stopped the shorts out. Then it stopped the longs out. The early longs have been stopped out. Then anybody short's been stopped out. It's fucking tough. It really is. Now the obvious bias is bullish, isn't it? Because we're above the initial balance. But the flows just don't seem there, do they? But obviously the flows can come in an instant, can't they? So it's tough, guys. It really is. That consolidation block that we're in there, as you can see, is both sides have just been hammered. So for me, you can see that we've tried to have multiple shots at getting above this high here. No closes yet, none. And we've had a go at going below here, and we haven't managed to close below there. So there's no bias really. Yes, we're above the balance. Yes, it looks like we could crack up, but at this point in time, it's just a massive shit show. Like people are pinging it from one area of the consolidation to the other. But don't let me put you off. Mark, you're not meant to be trading today. I am not touching the mouse, honestly. I'm just looking. I'm just trying to provide commentary. Maybe that's my job. Maybe that's what I should do, Trader's Ed, in the future, is just not touch the mouse and just talk everybody through. Like a DJ, like a blinking Radio 1 DJ or something. I can play some tunes if that helps. Has anybody got any numbers they want me to put up? I'm not touching the mouse, bud. But the thing is, right, if this is a big day for me, I will be so upset later on. I really will. I'll be sat in that having a meal with my wife, and she'll be like, "What is wrong with your face? Why are you so miserable?" I'll be like, "Well, because the same's happened again. I should have been long, and I wasn't because I'm a mug." But maybe it's for the best. Just have a day off and tomorrow off. Take it off. Hi from Australia. Wow, we got some Aussies in the room. Nice one. What time is it over there, dude? He's got a typical Australian name as well. Wooloon Gabba. Wooloon Gabba. Have I spelled that wrong? Have I said that right? Sorry. Wooloon Gabba. Hi from Australia. Good morning or good evening. Good day, mate. Nice to have you in here, bud. Whereabouts in Oz are you? You're in Melbourne with all the shit that's kicking off. I've seen that on Twitter. Wow. It's like a scene off RoboCop yesterday. Did anybody else see that? What was going on in Melbourne yesterday, where the police have got that massive speaker out and there's all them rioters that have stood over the other side of the street and they're all shouting at them. It was like something off the modern day Braveheart. I was like, this is crazy. So I hope you're good and I hope you're safe, dude. If you are in Melbourne, I hope everything's good. Keep yourself out of trouble because it looks like it's mayhem. It's 7:18 in Melbourne. Nick, are you in Melbourne? Are you an Aussie? Or you just got the time up? Good day. How are you doing? Really want to get out to Australia, but I'm unvaccinated, so they won't have me in. Never had the jab yet. Me and my wife haven't. Not because I'm anti-vax or anything like that. Just we've not needed it for our jobs and stuff like that. So we haven't had it. We're just going to wait and see how it unfolds. But I won't get into all of the political side of that. I think I've had corona anyway, to be fair, so I don't think I need it. I think I had it in January last year. I went to Las Vegas for my birthday. Me and my wife did, and it was when corona was kicking off, and we both come back. We were terrible, really, really ill. But at that time, none of the testing and stuff had come out. But I've never been that poorly ever before in my life, and it was all the symptoms of COVID. And when we were in our hotel in Vegas, everybody was ill, and nobody knew what was wrong with everybody. So I'm sure we had it. Yeah, that's what it was. Changed. Construction workers had to get vaccinated, and I saw it. I don't know if everybody's seen the videos. It was insane. It was like something off RoboCop. I just felt terrible. Like either way, I'm not on any side. Any political side or anything like that. I'm not. I just try and stay in the middle. But people just need to get on with each other. and be happy and not be, like, we shouldn't be fighting the police shouldn't be fighting us. Everybody should just be okay to just be okay with each other. So I hope it all gets sorted out, but let's stick to the trading. Pro science. Yeah. Sam KB is the biggest pro-vax I have seen. It's right. So Sam's vaccinated, is he? Everybody's got their own choice to make, haven't they, guys? At the end of the day, but that's what it should be. It should be a personal choice, personal for each individual to make that choice, and that should be okay. And everybody should understand that everybody's okay with that. This is what I don't understand. If you're trying to make other people do something that they don't want to do, then straight away that's going to lead to division. Like if you want to get vaccinated, go and get vaccinated. If you don't, then don't. But that should be, everybody should have their own opportunity. Now maybe that's crazy of me to suggest that, but surely that's just how the world should be. So I'm not into telling anybody they should be doing anything with their own body. Get on with it, go and enjoy your life, but be happy about the decisions that you've made. And leave it at that. Yeah, exactly. Nothing for me yet, guys. But I'm not gonna touch it anyway. I'm just trying to keep you updated with an entry. That's why Tom is going. Oh, I don't know. I'm a bit lost here now. I'm going to jump off here anyway, guys. My stomach's rumbling. I'm going to go for a run. I hope everybody has a fabulous day, though. And I won't be on here tomorrow, okay? So I hope you don't miss me too much. I'm gonna miss having the conversations with you guys, though. But I'll be back on Monday. I'll be back on Monday morning, and I'm going to start fresh with a fresh head and trade properly from Monday with proper execution. So I enjoyed all the conversations with everybody this morning. It's been brilliant. It's been a good week as well. I've really enjoyed it. We've had some fantastic banter, and I hope to see you all. Here Monday. But if you could, I don't want to sound like I'm asking for anything, but could everybody just like my stream or press the like button if you don't mind? I'm not trying to ask for anything, but I just if more people can see the proper side of trading. And it's not all about winning and Lambos and taking money off people. That would be fabulous for me. So if more people could see it and more people could come onto the, like seeing the real ins and outs of it, the ups and downs of what really goes on, that would be fantastic. So if you could all like it and finish off with a like, that would be amazing. But thank you very much, and I've really enjoyed speaking to everybody this week, and I hope you all smash it today and tomorrow, okay? So take care and see you all Monday. Have a good week. Thank you very much, chaps. See ya.